S to a dollar sign.
I will get big checks. It's just what's going to happen.
That's gonna happen.
It's just going to happen,
The
bro.
big check.
We're going to be at your neck, bro. Every day as a professional pitcher. I know success, yeah.
I built it from nothing. I don't give a fuck. What even qualifies you to tell somebody you're gonna fail? Like, are you like a MBA, like from Harvard? It's like, have you studied?
Me, if I gotta risk everything to do this shit, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
S to a dollar sign.
Want some water too? You want some? Yeah, man. P, you want some water?
Yeah. Let me get some water.
Quincy, you want some? You good? Yeah.
Yep.
What's up, P? What's up, man? How you living,
man? I got an interesting question today that really touched me to my soul. Like to my soul. And I believe it's important that we answer this. Now, we kind of talked about this before, but I want to go in depth today.
This is excellent. It's an excellent bottle of water, too. We talked about these bottles of water. I don't want to give it to we did. So look at this water right here, man. The top pop off, easy access.
Amazing. So I think today what we're gonna talk about, we should go ahead and just take it to the couch.
Let's get it poppin', ask that ass.
Let's get it. Yeah, no, I'm very excited to talk about this one today.
Oh yeah.
Let's get right into it.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I'm spilling water all over the couch.
I moved mine over here. I don't even know if I'm able to reach it. I'm putting it down here. Okay. Yeah. Your level's good. I know. Hold on. Let me check myself.
I just spilled some water all over the sofa.
Okay, yeah. I'm in there.
That's what the problem is. All the pillows over here.
Too many pillows.
Too many pillows over here. I was wondering what the issue was.
It's like when you go to a girl house, you got all them useless throw pillows.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, do you sleep on all this?
What's going on? Why you got all these pillows?
Yeah.
You're not using all these pillows.
So, quick side note. You know we famous now.
Oh shit! What happened?
Man, I was at the club last night with that boy, the world's most hated promoter. Somebody said, "Hey, you from the podcast, right?"
Oh yeah.
She was like, "Yeah." So when I watch the podcast, I'm just know what's up. So yeah, shouting you out, you know.
Okay.
Just a little,
did you get a name or you can't remember?
I couldn't remember the name. I was trying to get it, but she was walking off with her friends. I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna shout you out," you know.
Okay, she wasn't.
But she'll know what I'm talking about. So she's like, "Oh yeah."
Okay, yeah, cool.
But
shout out to you.
Hey, appreciate everybody who watches. So we love all.
Oh yeah, man. I've been doing a lot of stuff on. I've been doing a lot of stuff on Instagram and getting a lot of feedback from everybody there, and it's pretty much just a lot of people like the podcast, man. And I like doing it too because it's like one of these moments where we all get to come together and hang out. Before the podcast, we get to talk about a lot of different stuff. We get to be boys, we get to be men, we get to do all types of crazy shit. Like we get to play around, we get to do all types of stuff. So. I don't know where my phone is neither.
Yeah. No, I had to get it because the question.
Oh, because of the question, yeah. But I love shooting the podcast.
Oh, let's make sure let me make sure it's on silent though.
Huh?
I have to make sure it's on silent.
I don't even know where my phones are, so at this point I'm just here.
Yeah.
Like I told you, man, this is like this. I don't know what week this is. I can't explain to you.
This
of
is
course,
the 10th episode of season 2, so it's like 15th one.
Yeah, the 15th episode at this point. Guys, and I apologize because I hope you're not here to know what episode it is. You can just read about that. What I hope you're here for is just to get this knowledge that we provide. This good energy, this good knowledge. And just listening to this type of stuff in the car. You know, actually, my radio has been broke for like 2 years, but...
I'm going to tell you, I've been reading this book called Mastery by Robery Greene.
Yeah.
And it really just put the whole time of my entrepreneurship in perspective. One thing they talked about, though, too, is what's good about a resource like this that they didn't really have, like, back in the day. It's just like you get that virtual mentorship, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like you listen to people who are actually going through it, and we're here telling you, like, this is what you're going to experience if you're an entrepreneur, and this is what to do about it.
And another person to follow, if you're watching this right now, excellent person to follow.
I know who you're going to say.
Exactly. It's my boy Kyosaki, the Come Up Entrepreneur, man. Follow the Come Up Entrepreneur. I'm a big fan of his content. I actually love his content. We actually did an interview with him recently over Skype. He's all the way out there in California, it is, right?
Yeah.
So Cali is a very big place. So I can't remember exactly where at in Cali, but follow his content, man. This is an excellent person to follow when entering entrepreneurship because
he's documenting the journey.
The journey. He's not scared to tell you where he lives. He's not scared to talk about.
Like, oh, I didn't get that deal.
Yeah, he's not scared. He's actually giving you all of the things that most people won't give you. So I just believe that that's an excellent follow. And I'm one of those people who's serious on the follows. Yeah.
I think that's a good one. I would say I also follow our other boy. House Buying Brian.
House Buying
Real
Brian.
estate.
Excellent person to follow. I'm a big fan of his content. Hey, shout out to House Buying, man.
Yeah.
House Buying
Brian. He's a friend of the show.
Yeah, exactly, man. So, and one more shout out, man. Another person that I really want everybody to follow is my guy Jet King. Now, this is another person. Yeah, this is another person that I really enjoy watching their content, just because I understand that when you create content and when you're trying to get a person to be sucked into your content and eventually buy from you, I just understand how hard it is to consistently produce content. And we always talk about this type of shit when we're dealing with our clients. We tell them, hey man, the winner of this game produces more content. Content kings. I told Mike that this morning. I say, man, hey, the winner of this fucking shit, bro, is the person who can put out the most content.
I mean, it's awareness,
at a
right?
consistent basis.
It's awareness. If you in somebody's awareness every day, I always tell people it's like putting people in the ecosystem. If somebody's there every day, if somebody there every day, I mean, that's who you most likely going to end up purchasing from, right? You're just there. They're just there. It's convenient for them.
Yeah.
Just don't make it harder for people. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He said, why did you do that?
Yeah, come on. That was hilarious to me.
Oh, man.
But yeah. You feeling good today?
I'm feeling excellent, man. Today, this weekend, this weekend was an excellent weekend. We had a lot of good stuff going on. I did a lot of giveaways on Instagram this week too. Just getting my audience equipped to what's about to happen with my Instagram page.
That's the second one?
Yeah, dang, somebody calling me.
I told you. I knew it was gonna happen.
Let's see who it is.
Who is it?
Okay.
So, but what I will say is, the giveaways. We're giving away free haircuts for a year. So I'm put that. I had the editing team put that at the bottom.
Yeah.
Get a free haircut for a year. If you're in the area where we're at. I mean, if you're not, well, we just not there.
Yeah, in the downtown Houston area, you can get free haircuts for a year. So
for a year.
Yeah, for a whole year.
You're in Houston, I would
definitely be trying to figure out how to click that link.
You know me.
Typing the link in, whatever you got to do.
I was cutting my own hair forever. And before that, I was waiting 3-4 hours at the barbershop. So to come in at the time you want, get a haircut, I think that's phenomenal. That's a no-brainer. Yeah. For me at least. Yeah, maybe not for you. For me it is.
I just don't understand why a person would want to sit in the barber. Like, I remember growing up, my dad and them had a partner named Eddie. Eddie had his own barbershop. But Eddie barbershop was so interesting to me because Eddie had a movie theater in the front room for a waiting room. And as I continued to build what we've built as far as the whole Barber brand inside of just everything that we've built with that, right? I'm starting to notice that the waiting area that he invested so much time and money into was such a waste of time because no one wants to sit there. Yeah. And just hang at
I'm watching the movie, but I don't want to be here anyway.
Yeah, right?
Why? What the fuck?
Like, what the fuck? Like, why do I even have time to watch a movie?
I'm telling you, I told you, bro, I was at the barbershop one time that my grandmother dropped me off at the barbershop. They used to go grocery shopping on weekends. Mm-hmm. They went grocery shopping, was gone for 3 to 4 hours, and came back and still was waiting on me. I said, I hate going to the barbershop, but I love getting a fresh cut.
Yeah.
So,
it's something that you need.
I think all of us here, right?
Have to agree with that.
I know Daquan know about that. He's like, yeah, y'all remember that barbershop. But, yeah.
Right, back in the day. That's why I grew my hair out, though.
You ready to get into this one?
Oh,
I think you're going to like this question I got today.
Oh, yeah. So there's somebody from IG today, right?
Yeah. So I'm going to say IG name, too.
Okay.
So y'all go check this out. But the IG name is Protect the Hood.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, Protect the Hood. She asked an amazing question, though, right? And I wanted to talk about this because I think this one really struck home with me. And once you hear it, for our Mama's House mail, you're going to, I think it's going to strike a chord with you.
Yeah, okay, yeah. This is an excellent mail question.
So she writes, I want to quit my job, move back into my mom's house to pursue my dreams.
Okay.
I have a plan. I'm not just going off on a limb. What do you think?
Sure. I can give it to you right now.
God damn it. God damn it.
God damn
I think
it.
you know.
She going out on a limb. And most people might say, come on, duh.
Yeah.
Duh.
I can make the episode real short.
Nah, of course we can make it real short, but I want to talk about some people, then I want to talk about the logical answers, then I want to talk about...
I want to talk about, too, what that journey is going to look like. Because I really believe it's not... We talked about this before. Mm-hmm. If you want to do some shit, it's going to happen, but are you willing to deal with the shit that's going to come in between? That's the real answer for the person who's listening to it. So if you're watching this, the answer that's going to come is depending on if you're willing to go through a lot of this shit we're going to talk about. Like
exactly. And two, another thing that we always talk about too is we make jokes about this. This is something that we really talk about a lot though. We always talk about talking about what you are going to do and what you're not going to do, right? Yeah. And this can simply tie into this from a person watching it, because it's easy to sit your ass on the other end of this phone and say, well, duh, I'm going to go out on the limb and jump, right? I'm going to jump. Like, that shit way easier than actually the time has come and you, life or death, not life or death, but you A or B, you choose to continue living the life that you're living, or you continue, or you choose to cut everything and let's jump.
A successful person in this world has jumped. I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. You are going to have to jump. You cannot just exist in this life. You have got to try to live. If you are waking up thinking that there's got to be more to your life than it is, man, believe that it is. Believe in your heart of hearts that it is. But to get to that life, you're going to have to jump.
And see, and be willing to, like Steve Harvey say, hit your fucking face on the rock.
On the parachute, it's not going to open right away.
The parachute not going to open right away,
And see, I like this, and as you continue to listen to this episode to the end, what you're going to realize is that you're going to understand what the motivations behind taking a leap like that are, and how you can understand when you want to take a leap like that, how to do it.
Exactly.
Because the thing is, like I said, the reason I wanted to answer this question on the podcast is because we talked about in the first episode of this podcast, it's entitled How to Leave Your Mama's House, right? Yeah. And I think what I want to go deep on is because as we've gone through a lot more of entrepreneurship, so a lot has happened since that first episode. I wanted to visit this one because I think when people ask me, should I do something, I'm making short for you, right? Yeah. I'm going to say do it. I feel comfortable saying that because that's the background I come from. Exactly. However, my more conservative answer, because we're on a podcast and I want to give some real practical advice, is depends on the person, right?
And the situation.
Well, I would still say depends on the person.
Yeah, the situation doesn't matter because, of course, like
we all have circumstances. We all come from different backgrounds. It's your job to. It's like the hands that you dealt. Those are what they are. You can complain like I didn't. Like that's why I said when I was reading the book Mastery, Thomas Edison, right? They're talking about Thomas Edison had no mentor, so he was all self-taught. So that really struck a chord with me because my whole entrepreneurship journey is pretty much self-taught. Yeah. So you get what I'm saying? Like I read, I tried some shit, it failed, it didn't work. I just kept doing that cycle over and over and over and over again. So when we talk about this situation right here, I want to just dive into what's going to, like, I'm saying do it. Just fucking do it.
Yeah.
Well, I hope we're ready this time.
Yeah. Shit, Princeton fucking I hope. Whoever said something first is the one who really.
Yeah, that's you came on with it.
Yeah. Whoever smelled it
dealt it. Exactly.
That was my L.
How you didn't format the? You know what? I'm not gonna do
that. It's my L. For all the tech savvy people, I fucked up. I did. Let me get some of this Roseanne. Yeah, hold on.
Let me.
And then I ain't got to twist it.
Pop this open.
They gonna have to really come through with a little.
Yeah. Anyway.
After a while.
So before DJ rudely interrupted us, everybody, I said I'm gonna make it simple. I'm gonna make a shout for you.
Okay, shout.
Just do it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna put something funny before this, maybe. Do
it!
All right, thank y'all.
Just do it!
Yeah, okay. You good now?
I'm born.
Did you check your space? Did you check your space on your card?
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, I'm all good, man.
What I want to get into today, D, is I'm gonna tell you just do it, and that may be controversial. People be like, man, you shouldn't be telling people all the type of stuff. I'm gonna tell you to do it because what the question you should ask yourself, and by the end of this episode, when you watch this one to the end, you're gonna know, do you have the temperament for entrepreneurship? Because the only really distinction that's gonna be, say, if you should do some shit like this or not, is if you have the right temperament.
Yeah.
I can tell anybody to do it, right?
Can you deal with it?
Yeah, exactly. I've had a bunch of friends who talking about they want to start businesses, be entrepreneurs, and when they got in there and shit got real, what do you think they did?
They wasn't ready
They
for
just
it.
folded up.
They folded up like a piece of paper.
So, I just want to be honest with you. This is big boy, big girl shit that I'm talking about.
Big boy, big girl shit.
This is what I'm talking about. And the first thing I'm going to tell you is this. I'm going to be honest with you. You shouldn't listen to 99.9% of people.
Why shouldn't you listen to 99.9%
Let
of
me
people?
tell you why. 99.9% of people simply do not know what the fuck they're talking about.
I want you to stop right there, though. I want you to stop right there. I want you to think about 99.9% of the people that you know. And then you're like, ooh, yep, he don't know what he's talking about. Then I thought about my other partner. I said, yeah, he needs to shut his ass up. Then I thought about some of my family members. I said, oh, he for sure needs to shut his ass up.
What the fuck was he talking about?
She shut her ass up right now.
They just,
so,
you know, you talking about that one Annie that be at the motherfucking family reunion, so she just, it is, and this how she don't know what the fuck she talking about.
You like one classic case of a person who think just because they louder than everybody else, they got to
they know what
right.
they talking about.
Right?
They trust me.
Right. Nah, but my thing is with that, that has to be an accurate statement now that I sit back and think about it. Like, how many people actually know what the fuck they talking about?
I'm gonna tell you.
I seen a comedian on Instagram. I talked about this on the podcast before, I think. Or maybe it was on some other content that we was creating. But it was a comedian got up on Instagram. He said, man, you only know what you know. He said, I know how to tell jokes. I know how to do a nightclub because I did that shit before this. And I know how to make people feel good. You know, the three things I know how to do. So when I'm talking about some shit, that's the three things that you should listen to me about.
That's what I'm getting at, though, right?
Yeah.
The reason the 99.9% of people don't know what the fuck they're talking about, why I say that, has nothing to do with people not being smart or educated.
At all.
I just know 99.9% of people are not doing some shit because they chose it.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to really think about this.
Yeah.
How many people do you know that got up and said, hey, I want to do XYZ thing?
Yeah.
And now they're doing XYZ thing.
Yeah.
Most people be like, well, I'm just doing this job because, you know, it paid the bills or it made me money, or I'm just doing this job because, you know, right now I'm trying to get to my other career. Then they 65 and all of a sudden the other career never came.
Yeah, what happened to the other
So
one?
when that person tells an entrepreneur that, well, nah, you need to think about it like this. What?
Yeah.
You don't know what the fuck you're talking. You've never done this, right?
What?
So the thing is, when I started off, why this struck a chord with me talking about this is because everybody. I want to be very clear. And if this is offending somebody, I really don't give a fuck today for some reason. That's how I feel.
At this point.
Nobody knew what the fuck they were talking about.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Imagine if you would have listened
parents,
to everybody, too.
Whoever you think I'm talking about, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Nobody. Nobody knew what
None.
they was talking about. Everybody was like, nah, be safe, be conservative, don't do it that way. All of them said that, right? Now those same people hit me up asking for advice.
Yeah.
That's not a cocky statement. I'm just saying that the reason when you think about doing stuff like this, the reason that people come and ask us stuff like this, I think it's a smart play because you're talking about somebody who went through that shit.
Exactly.
Now, what we're going to explain throughout this episode, I'm not going to sugarcoat what my journey was at all.
Exactly.
But I'm saying the first thing you got to realize is that when you get into this, you're going to be doubted. And you shouldn't give a fuck about the doubt from the average person because, once again, 99.9% of people do not know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, so you got that one person that comes in and says, man, I don't know, P. I don't think you should just jump out on a limb and do this shit. And this is 9 times out of 10 a person who hasn't done the shit that they tell you not to do. I don't think you should jump out on a limb, P, because really what life is really about is just providing for your family and being comfortable, man. You don't have to be a millionaire to live. You don't got to do this shit. You can really just sit back and...
Man, I got a nice little job over here. I can get for you $12
really,
an
all I
hour.
do, every time I hear somebody say all I do, I say, shut your ass
I just
up.
want to smack them in the back of the
All
neck.
I do, don't ever, listen,
yeah.
if you, women scare me sometimes.
Oh, a lot.
Because they told me, like some of the women in the past that I've spoke with and that I've dealt with before, they always use that language. All I have to do.
Mama's house, the penthouse is under fire.
Right, but my thing is with that, man, that type of language. But
Yeah.
you got people like, P, I don't think you should do this, and I don't think you should do that, and all I can say to them is a hoopla. And a hoopla. Shut your motherfucking ass up. Because my thing is, look, he like hoopla and the hoopla. What? Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. Anytime somebody talking about some shit, Quan, that you don't know what they talking about, just tell them hoopla and the hoopla. Because I just feel like that means you don't know what you're talking about.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Literally shocked.
Yeah.
How many people, like, as I went through the journey of entrepreneurship, I'm just shocked at how many people just literally just will tell you to do shit. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like me, I'm not gonna, like, if you ask me about some shit, right? If a physicist came to me and said, hey, what should I do with this physics problem? I'm not gonna say, this is what you should do. Because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about there.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, most people will comment on another person's life. This is just comment. This doesn't even have to be entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
People will comment on each other's relationships, what they should be doing, with zero experience about it.
Exactly.
People tell you, oh, you know what? This is what you should do in your relationship, right? How the fuck did... Man, person ain't never been in a relationship.
Right.
Hey, but hey, see you got...
What's up, man? Where you going?
What's up? Yeah, you just, tried to sneak by. See that shit?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm coming to the bar down the street after this then.
Exactly.
I don't drink, but I'm coming to the bar down the street.
Yeah, exactly. But you see, Josh put on his fly shit too. He put on like fitted shirt and shit.
I said, where y'all going? But yeah, man.
But yeah, I mean, people will comment on your life. Be like, you should be this what the type of girl, or if you're a lady, guy you should talk to. Like, how the fuck do you know?
Yeah, you
like
don't know.
I used to tell people like, my mother asked me one time. She said, you don't never be having a problem with the girls your brothers talk to. I said, be honest with you, I don't have to fuck with them.
Yeah, that's not mine.
I don't live with them.
Yeah.
Shit, so I don't know what's good for them. You may think that the girl that they're talking to is bad for them, but they're actually the one that's good for them because they telling them don't do the stupid shit they're doing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I always heard this
Send me the
statement.
address, Josh.
Yeah. And I always heard this statement, right? Said, what if you are on the wrong side of history? You know what that means, DJ? So
What if you? I hate to be on the other side of this.
yeah, exactly. Well, think about it like this, right? There's all these types of things that have happened in history, right, where people thought they were right. So think about wide movements, like something simple, and this has become a thing again, but like back in the day, they thought the earth was flat, right? So think about it. People who thought that shit, they were so sure. They were so sure that they were right. Now think about all the fucked up shit that's ever happened through history, and people were so 100% sure that they were right. And what I would ask you, what if all these 99.9% of people are actually on the wrong side of history?
Exactly.
What if they have failed to see a trend that's coming in the world as a whole?
Exactly.
On takingthemasterback.com, I had an article. I was talking about how to survive in the new economy. We learned this doing entrepreneurship about how they was talking about things like Amelia and Watson.
Conversational AI.
Hi there.
Mainly what we're currently doing in our use cases is a lot of customer service. Customer has a problem, they come in, they need someone to help, and in this case it's Amelia. And that's already a big difference with chatbots who might give you a link and then you still need to do self-service. Amelia will solve your problem completely end-to-end.
I really enjoy making my colleagues more productive.
And stuff, they're going to eliminate so many jobs. So all these people who are coming from a society, your mother, your parents, who are coming from a society that's not the one we live in. They didn't have all this technology and all. Look at all this shit we can do, right?
Exactly.
Easy though.
Easy.
They didn't have all this type of stuff. Maybe when they're telling you what to do, they are failing to see that you're moving into a completely different economy than them.
Some shit has shifted. I was sitting down to eat lunch with my stepdad and my mom when they were in town a couple weeks ago, right? I was on Snapchat with them and shit like that. We was living it up. You know, living my best life. They be mimosas and shit. They be mimosas and shit, man. Them boys out there really getting it. My mama and them be getting that money. They got multiple businesses in Ohio, right? So, shout out to them.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they killing it. They raking it in. But doing business with them has taught me a lot. But getting back to where I was going with it, oh man, I didn't even disconnect from that. Fuck it though. Listen, I was talking to my mama.
It's one of them episodes.
Right, it's gonna be one of them. So I was talking to my mama and shit, right? And they was telling me, they was like, man, DJ, man, we really want you to talk to our nephew in the family on the other side, which is my stepdad's family. Yeah. He's talking about he doesn't want to go to college. And this, that, and the third, and they going on, and they just like, yeah, yeah. And I'm just sitting there like, you want me to talk to him?
You want me?
You want me
I
to
don't
talk
think
to
I'm
him?
the last person.
I think right now, I'd say, I feel y'all.
Like,
y'all
people coming to me, P, go tell them why they should go to school. I'm going to say,
I think you might want to get somebody else at this point. But my thing is, I want to tell them, I told them at the table, I said, shit, I think that's why they haven't hit me back up, though. Because I said, shit, honestly, y'all, technically, really, I got all my money from the people that I met. The only reason why I would tell him to go to school is so he can be around a bunch of people.
The network, yeah.
It's the network. That's the only thing I could tell him that he's tripping on.
All my friends who got jobs out of school networked, not because they had a good GPA. I literally, the valedictorian for my school, I went to KFC, they were serving wings.
Oh,
I'm just going to be 100% legit with you. And the thing is, what I'm saying is this, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they're not anymore, hopefully.
But you know what's cool, though? The valedictorian of my school actually just started an online website, and I hope she's listening to this.
That's live.
Yeah, and it's actually a website that sells Greek clothes for baby, for babies. Yeah. Amazing.
That's great.
I wish I could find it. I know Instagram is the Zamaria Show. I believe that's correct. Yeah. If it's not, don't kill me, Zamaria.
Yeah. Why didn't you get my shit right?
Why you didn't get my shit right?
There's a great book, though, that Robert Kyosaki wrote, Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah.
It's called Why A Students Work for C Students, right?
Yeah.
And I think the thing is what I'm talking about, I think that's a great segue when you talk about that they're talking about, you know, they should go to college and stuff like that, is because what I'm getting at here is you have to understand the territory you're going into when you ask a question like, should I drop out or should I leave my job, move back in my mom and pursue my dreams, right?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is you're talking about going a pathway that literally only a very small percentage of people ever walk in existence. I'm not talking about nowadays. Even a lot of these people who are entrepreneurs, they've never really walked it. Me, being entrepreneurs for so long, I just want to explain to you the journey that I went through in understanding. When I left school, you got to understand, there was not a person, not one person who even understood that, because everybody around me been told all their life that the only way to be successful is to go to school. Yeah. Now, I did have other people on the opposite end of the spectrum who said school's not for everybody, but those were people who were just being ignorant because they never even experienced school. Once again, 99.9% of people didn't know what the fuck they was talking about.
Exactly.
It's not that school had no merits, but the point is what I'm saying is school for me, being an entrepreneur, that spirit that I wanted to create something, I knew it wasn't the way for me. There's nothing wrong with if it's, like, you don't have to listen to me and say that just because you went to school now you feel like something's wrong with it. I'm saying me personally, right?
Yeah.
So I understood when I left that I'm going against the grain.
Yeah.
And when you go against the grain, it fucks with people's reality, and they're going to say shit about you. They're going to criticize you. They're going to talk down on you.
It's out of the norm for them.
Exactly.
Right?
So they don't like it. So it's almost like this, right? Let's say
it's an insult. We talked about this before. It's like a person like me who gets on here and we consistently produce content. We consistently raking in customers for the ad agency. Yeah. We consistently doing stuff like this, and I'm telling you that I can't do something that you took so seriously. Yeah. Right? Spell and read. I can't do it as well as you can, but I'm over here living my best life.
I ain't going
and
back.
I ain't going
I mean,
back.
I've had people hit me up sometimes.
I think that's offensive to a person, though.
Well, it's like being a college dropout, and then that person is doing better than you. Yeah. It's like, that's offensive.
Yeah, no, it is.
It's like
would you allow a person to talk about shit that they don't know? That's where I was going with it.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm getting at, though, because they're not really talking about it because they got your best interest in mind. Because when I think about best interest, I don't even think about, I'm saying, what type of life do you want? Do you want a life where you make some money but you're miserable every day? Yeah. Like every single day. Yeah. I was telling the world's most hated promoter this. I said, bro, honestly, I don't want to make $1 billion if I'm working 23 hours a day and I'm miserable.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Why? I'm saying 23 hours of my day is me working and I'm miserable. But I'm a billionaire. Whereas, let's say I had $50, $60 million in a bank account, but I love every second of my life.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Which one is a better life? And I feel like these metrics that we're always trying to go by other people's metrics. So other people are trying to get you to go by their metrics. So when I left school, everybody's telling me how I should go about my life based on what they think success is.
Exactly.
So there's an old book, old record by Earl Nightingale called The Stranger's Secret. And I loved his definition of success. He was like, success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. He was like, a success is the person who is deliberately doing something that they want to do because they set out to do that deliberately.
Yeah.
So if I say, I want to be an entrepreneur who does this, and I go and accomplish that, that makes me a success.
Yeah.
So the thing is, the reason most people don't know what they're talking about, going back to that point, is because I don't know anybody personally who said, I'm going to do this, and then became it.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody personally.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
There's not one person I know. So with me being the first person to ever try that, who am I going to take advice from?
Yeah. Who can you? Yeah.
So I guess what I want to...
And then it goes even deeper than that because you got to find a person that was in your particular... You don't have to, but like even knowing a person who's actually done that, right? I know a person, right? I know a person like a preacher at my church, right? And also even to go a little deeper, I mean not deeper, but to get a little bit more recent. One of my friends, I sat in the living room with him, and he said he would become a famous rapper. And I remember talking about everything that how much I believed in him. We didn't even go over the steps that it took to do it. I just told him that shit, the only difference between you becoming the best rapper alive and the next man is that you gotta believe it, right?
Yeah.
And then from there, he just blew up. Don Toliver, right? Yeah. So I just remember that, like those conversations.
Shout out to Don Toliver.
Yeah, shout out to my man. Go follow him on Travis Scott new album and all of that. But my thing is with that, is that I could even go get advice from him on that particular thing, but it's not what I want to do. I'm not trying to be a rapper. So you know what I'm saying? I still feel like even knowing, like you said, I don't know a person who's done it. On my end, just as far as my experience, I know a few people, but it still doesn't even matter sometimes because you have to, I think it only matters when you meet a person who does exactly what you do.
One big thing about me, right, is the reason when I formed the company, one of the core tenets, right, core values is to defy social conventions, right? Mm-hmm. I never even knew anybody who was willing to challenge anything, right? Yeah. I've always been a kid challenging shit.
Like,
right?
just like
why is it like that? Why? Why do I have to do it that way? Yeah. No, I don't want to do it that way.
I don't want to do it that way.
So
you're like, what?
I've always been like that. So when I was in school, I just used to sit there and think like, if I want to do this, none of these courses, right?
Yeah.
Are telling me how to do this thing, right?
Yeah.
When I go research a lot of these people, I'm seeing some of them that dropped out of school and never even went. Like, how does this correlate? I want to do this thing. A lot of the people at the top of this don't even go to this.
Yeah.
So I'm not making the connection, right?
Yeah,
so what I'm saying is,
right.
I just know that most people are mindlessly following some shit that they just heard somebody else say, right?
I like that last segment you just said is so powerful. I just always think about why the fuck did I even go to college, right?
Yeah.
So, oh shit, I was mindlessly following the path of another person just because it was laid out for me.
Yeah. And so,
I'm not saying that they didn't. Not saying that. I'm not saying anything bad about school.
Well,
in that
I'm
statement.
saying it's always context, bro. I think back in the day, there's a difference between what we are at, where we're at now, right?
Yeah.
There's a difference. Like for example, they try to give school for things that, like let's say like filmmaking, right? Mm-hmm. So you want to send somebody to school for filmmaking? Okay, fair enough, right?
Yeah.
But let's think about the difference back in say the '60s if you went to film school. Yeah. Where it was a very hard industry to crack. There's no way to even put out content at that level. There was no way to even put out content at that level unless you're in the Hollywood system, right?
Exactly.
So now you look at now where you can go to YouTube and people are putting out shit that rivals a lot of the top shit just because they are able to go get the knowledge. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like we put out shit where people are like, man, we think y'all should enter stuff into a film festival. Yeah. I'm self-taught. Yeah. Never went to film school, right? Yeah. I sat my ass down and made bad production after bad production, tweak, bad production, tweak, bad production, tweak, right? Yeah. And it's back and forth. It's that temperament. And that's why I say what we're on here talking about today. Why I wanted to talk about this, because I think when you answer questions like this, you can tell somebody to do it. Like I said, that's a short answer, but I think what we're getting at here is, first I just want you to understand I don't listen to most people because they don't understand this next process that I'm about to talk about. Exactly. Understand this. But I also, before I even get to that, I want to talk about what happens to you when you leave. That's where I was going, which is, okay, I stepped outside the box. you think society was happy with that? Do you think everybody was happy with that? But I had friends, bro. I'm talking about close friends. I think I said this on the first episode, but I had close friends, people I thought was like day one, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Day
just
one,
talking shit about me.
Yo, the fiend.
Talking about, yeah, bro, I think your boy on drugs or something. He out of there.
Not
Like,
the drugs.
but he done joined the cult. He on some other shit. Like, bro, just some of the shit that people said about me. I was like, like you hear it, you like.
Not the drugs, though. The drugs?
Boy, talking about, bro,
yeah. You know, somebody tell you, I think he on drugs. They're not talking about your statistical college nights. They
talking about like
some
dope
hardcore,
fiend in the back corner.
Like back corner.
Like
looking around
like
yeah,
some, you know what I'm saying? Like type shit.
Because I don't want to go.
Because I'm not doing what you said, do whatever, right? He said, they was like, your boy, he just gonna grow up, be a washout now, not doing nothing with his life. I'm saying, vicious shit, bro. Like shit. People just talking shit like hard about me, right? Yeah. It's people to this day, and I don't even give a fuck, right? Mm-hmm. But it's people to this day, I talk to them, I look at them in their face, and I know shit they said about me. I know it. Yeah. I heard people coming to me like, yeah, bro, what do you think about this? I remember you. It was you. And the point I'm saying is that if you're not ready for that, if you're not ready to deal with that, that's what makes you not ready to deal with this type of shit, right? Because this is going to test you emotionally. This is going to test you.
If you give too much of a fuck, this won't work.
Yeah.
It won't
it's like,
work.
because what I want you to understand, like I said, I was reading this book called Mastery, right? Mm-hmm. And so most people are not willing to go through a period of, say, boredom, of criticism, of failure in order to get to where they want to be.
Remember that?
What?
I know you remember boredom.
Oh, shit. I've done something numbingly boring. Bro, I've read books. I've sat and read a book for 10 hours.
Yeah.
Well, that's before I could speed read, right?
Yeah.
I sat and read a book for 10 hours because I needed the knowledge, right?
Yeah,
when I told somebody that, they would say, I couldn't do it for 10 hours. Exactly. Yeah. I'm saying I've learned to love it because I understand what's on the opposite end of it, right? Mm-hmm. But what I'm getting at with this is basically, okay, you're saying, should I drop out, right? Should I take action? I just want you to clearly understand what I'm talking about, right? Mm-hmm. You are entering uncharted territory. Now, fortunately, you do have resources like this to tell you what you're going to experience, but people are not going to fuck with it. People are going to think you're stupid. Mm-hmm. People are going to think you're crazy. People are going to think you're a psycho, right?
Think about listening to this podcast in the car with a group of friends, right? Mm-hmm. Like, right now, you're listening to it. I just want you to understand that there's always going to be that one person in the back seat, or maybe even next to you, that's going to be like, bro, what are you doing?
They're just going to be looking off like, what is this,
Why
bro?
aren't we listening to music?
Yeah.
Why aren't we listening to 21 Savage? Why aren't we listening to... And it's because the person who put the podcast on, they on some different shit. Yeah. But imagine being in the car with everybody who wants to listen to some fucking
It's
rap.
like getting in the car with me, I put it on an audio book.
Yeah, it's like...
Man, what are you doing?
Yeah, but I can just see how
and they gonna get out the car and joke about for you.
Yeah, look at this guy. I think he on. I don't know what he on.
They think they got it right. They think they on the right side of history though.
Mm-hmm. That I was just thinking about that. Like I've always gotten in the car with people and or people got in the car with me and I be listening to some stuff like this, right? Yeah. And people be like I can just feel the energy in the car. Nobody else say nothing. Yeah. But people be like, I can just feel it. Like, why are we listening to this? I would much rather be. Now, of course, we on the way to a party or something. You don't want to be listening.
Yeah, of course.
But my thing is, of course, it's your time and place for everything. But my whole essence of it is, I can just see. I want to paint that picture to drive home the fact that once you step outside of that shit that you was already doing, which is your statistical job, the thing that made you normal to all of your friends, the things that allow your friends to call you, the things that allow people to sit there and be like, hey, P, I know I can call P because we both do entrepreneurship. Yeah. But I'm not gonna call somebody else if, you know what I'm saying? It's just like hand and foot. The same way with somebody who works at a job, no, don't get me wrong, because I'm so grateful for some of the talents that I have, which allowed me to continue to work for myself. So my thing is, those are the things that allow me to relate to people. Like rappers hang with rappers because they share common characteristics. You know what I'm saying? So I think just imagine being a rapper and then transferring all of your talents over to online marketing. Imagine how that particular echo group would just shatter.
Because they're used to you being one way.
They're
so
used
it fucks up their reality.
Yeah,
nobody likes that.
Nobody likes that shit. It makes them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Especially if you was the nuts and bolts of the other part that you was in. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think in life we like to put everybody in the box, right?
Yeah.
So DJ, that's the MC Wild guy.
Yeah, he's the wild guy.
Princeton, he's the smart guy.
The business professional guy, right?
So even when I meet people in person, if they see me being like, let's say I'm being obnoxious or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm just joking, I'm not talking about business, I can see it fucks with them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, I saw you on the podcast, I expected you to be one way, right? And I'll be like, I'm just having fun right now.
I'm just doing
like,
me.
That's what
like,
it is,
I can't
right?
do me.
So what I'm saying is, think about that on a larger scale, right?
Yeah.
Your mother is like, my son has been the honor roll student. I've been telling my friends they're in who's who and honor roll, and they're just breezing through school, and they're gonna go do this big thing. They're gonna be an engineer, a doctor, lawyer, insert those type of jobs here. And then he comes home and says, man, fuck that school shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, her whole reality just went, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, do you expect her to just be like,
I support that, yeah.
Now, in her mind, she's like, you done fucked up my reality, because in my reality, you're supposed to go and do this thing. And now my friends ask about, like, what? He done dropped out of school.
What you gonna do now?
Then they like, you let him do, it's all this shit that you don't think about, right?
Yeah.
It's all this stuff you're gonna think about. And I also say, to be fair to parents a lot of times, parent wants what's best for you, so they've never seen anybody do it, so they're just scared for you.
Yeah.
That's why I've never even been mad at my parents not fucking with it, right? It's like, I get it.
Yeah,
like you didn't do it because you want me to be miserable.
Yeah.
You're just like, shit, I don't want you to be like.
And think about parents. I always say this when a child comes to a parent and say, I want to be a rapper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Parents don't understand that shit. Like, especially parents who haven't experienced a rapper blowing up. Like,
Yeah.
you think if Travis Scott's little brother went up to his mom and said, I want to be a rapper, you think her whole perspective about it would be negative? It'd be like, shit, you should do that.
It happened before.
It happened before.
Because they seen it.
They seen it.
They seen it.
So it's not a thing where it's like they don't believe in it anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I could just understand, and just to piggyback off of what you said, like you're not even mad at your people for not understanding that, because it's like, how can you be mad at them for not even understanding that it was more to all of this?
It's like if I told you right now, I'm about to go in the backyard and build a rocket to Mars.
Yeah.
You're going to be like,
you trip.
Fam, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, no, I'm going to go do it.
Yeah.
Like, if I did it, you're going to be like, holy shit. If somebody else came in with an idea like, hey, I'm about to build a rocket to Saturn, you'd be like, shit, what you, maybe? Yeah,
like somebody else got random person.
Yeah, I'd be like, shit.
For real, okay. How you?
He's like, you think he going to do it? Maybe.
Maybe.
I remember I had one partner.
He
He said that shit, and I ain't believe him.
Yeah, he's still up there right now.
You know what I'm saying?
Right now.
So I feel like that, I just want to, when I answer a question like this, I want to give a realistic perspective, right?
Yeah.
The thing that's going to fuck you up at first is just the sheer way people turn on you.
Yeah.
Like now, silver lining, a lot of those people come back, but in the beginning, it's brutal.
Right now, they come back.
Brutal.
They come back tenfold.
It's brutal though. It's like you just gonna feel like I felt like I was just really not even part of society. It's just like I was like. Every time I talk to people, I can see the look in their eyes. It's like I'm very
like
intuitive.
helpless for you.
Like looking at you like, bro, you delusional. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they look at, you know, somebody talking to you like, yeah, nah, I feel you. You're doing your business thing, man. I see you. Yeah. But then as soon as they leave, he tripping. He tripping. Yeah. So
how he gonna pay for food?
Exactly. What you gonna do, bro?
What he gonna do? He tripping.
But then when I look now, like I say, being on the wrong side of history, a lot of those people are like, man, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have pursued this. Because what I'm saying is, I'm looking in goal. I told my partner the other day, I said, I think the difference between me and reading this book, Mastery, put into perspective. I urge you, if you haven't read that, read that book, Mastery, by Robert Greene. But it put in perspective.
Book drop.
It put in perspective for me because I told him, I said, you know, like World Most Hated Promoter, I was talking to him about, you know, people in clubs and stuff like this or whatever. I said, you know, a lot of people may be chasing just money, maybe just chasing women. They might be chasing, just stunting on their friends and stuff like that. I said, I've never been chasing that.
Yeah.
I said, I've always been chasing something bigger.
Yeah.
Like something like I've always wanted to chase that mastery.
Control.
Like I want to change change the world, right? I want to inspire people to be like, shit, man, you could come from any fucking way. I want people to truly create a future where they're in control.
Yeah.
I know it's not like a slogan I just put just because I put it there.
Yeah,
I
it
put out
really
resources
is
like
not-
this to try to shift the way you think, because you probably never heard no perspective like this.
Yeah, or people even speaking in this manner about it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm
Like
saying?
us,
Yeah.
speaking about it.
Exactly.
And I think my mindset on it has always went down to the idea that I understand. I'm here. Me and you, I feel like, are here to be like your virtual mentors.
Exactly.
Like you're gonna step out and you're gonna be like, "What the fuck resource? I didn't have this.
Yeah.
I didn't have somebody to tell me I'm not tripping for wanting to live a
You
life
have
of freedom."
the 10 business, the
Building
10,
blocks.
the
I
10
didn't have
building
it.
blocks, yeah.
Like,
that you can go get now.
I wish I
in
had
our
somebody
bio
like, "Hey,
right
go
now
do
for
this."
free. Yeah.
Like, go get it now.
For free.
For free.
For free, bro.
What I'm saying is, I didn't have it. So when I look at it, when I look at everything that happened with me or everything that kind of happened with me, I think to myself, okay, I just wasn't prepared for that. I wasn't prepared for the backlash I got.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying here is, if you should do it depends on the temperament. Like going back to this book, the mastery aspect. If you want to master something, you have to accept. We talked about that in the episode about leadership, right? You have to accept that the shit that's about to happen to you.
Yeah.
You have to accept it.
Did
It's
you ever
like-
tell that story about the warrior on here? Accepting the fact that it was a story that you told me the other day. The guy went out to war. You tell everybody.
Yeah,
he was
that
scared.
was, yeah, that's on.
We talked that.
Yeah, it was the last episode.
Okay. I thought I heard that somewhere.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
So if you don't know what we're talking about, go back to the previous episode. We talked about that. But no, I told that story, and the whole point is like, I think I always want people to be very clear on this, right? Like to become a master of something, to master business, entrepreneurship, and shit like that. There's gonna be a period where you have to go through shit like boredom. You have to go through failure. You have to go through just the pain of criticism. Because think about if you start a business, your first project you put out, right? It's probably not gonna be good.
Yeah.
You're gonna be criticized. But what makes a master, what makes us able to do what we're doing, right, is there's a lot of entrepreneurship and a lot of trial and error behind everything that I do nowadays. So I don't want people to look at what I do and anything that we do in the future as magic.
Yeah.
It's not magic.
Yeah.
It's just, okay, we're looking at the world and saying, okay, we did this, we tried this, we're willing to try and experiment.
Yeah.
So the same thing with having the right temperament. If you're willing to adapt, if you're willing to put in the effort, if you're willing to look at yourself honestly and say, hey, I'm failing right here, I need to get better here, I need to work on this and stuff like that. It's not the idea. If you think I got a good idea, that's why I'm gonna be successful. It's not the idea.
Yeah.
It's the other shit, right? It's being able to take time to turn the idea into something. If you don't have that temperament, like when I first started, it wasn't all this. But I stuck with it long enough till I found the thing I wanted to do. And if you don't have the patience for that, what do you think's gonna happen to you?
You're gonna flop.
And then you're gonna say, damn, y'all told me to jump out there, bro, and it didn't work.
Steve Harvey said it though.
Yeah.
You gonna reach for that parachute.
And it ain't gonna open.
It ain't gonna open immediately.
You're gonna get messed up pretty bad.
You're gonna hit the canvas, and it's gonna be time to get your goddamn ass back in the skydiving plane. But my thing is with all of that is entrepreneurship. A lot of people talk about it, and I seen a woman on my Instagram the other day, and I sent her to the 10 mandatory building blocks that she needed to create a successful business after I read this. But she basically was saying, she said, shit, I'm trying to start a business, but I didn't know this shit was this hard, right? And my thing is, don't get me wrong, it's definitely not easy, but it's not something that you can't sit down and just partner with the right people and get taken care of.
Yeah.
Because my thing is, most people look at me and in the future they're gonna say, he was a magician, he did this, it was smart. I always hear people talking about people marketing tactics was smart, like some of the rappers and shit like, and then they say like shit like some of the top fashion designers, their marketing is smart, like they're doing giveaways. It's like, bro,
Geniuses.
They just been doing the shit, fam.
Yeah.
They
just understand people.
They just understand people. Please don't fall victim of
You know a good example?
Go ahead.
Beyonce.
Yeah, right.
Beyonce dropped.
Come on, bro.
Beyonce dropped
Stop,
an
bro.
album with no marketing. She just gave it to a surprise. I said,
Beyonce,
she's
man.
Beyonce.
It's Beyonce. She probably has an email list larger than Uber.
I was like, come on, it's
this point.
Beyonce.
Come on, man.
Nah, you try to drop your album. without any
tomorrow
marketing.
without talking
it's
your
just-
album. Yeah, how about that?
See what happens.
See what happens.
But yeah, what
then.
you saying now?
But nah, that's pretty much where I was going with it. Just most people don't take that into consideration. Just understanding that people, like, it's not like people gonna talk about us in the future, but I just want people to understand that it's not magic. It's just straight up.
It's work. I read a bunch of books. I tried stuff.
It's work. It's a bunch of stuff that we tried.
I don't even want to come on this show and pretend like it's magic. I don't even want to
It's
try to
not
give
even-
you the illusion that
It's not even
magic.
designed for that.
It's like I'm trying to actually give you the impression that all we do is work. If you see us doing big stuff, you see Mama's House and Penthouse and think, oh my, how, right?
Yeah.
Think about there's a lot of work behind that for us to understand how to do all this shit, how the sound works, how the audio works.
There's people all around this bitch right now,
Yeah.
and that's my thing.
With expertise, like you said.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In that particular field, but I always want people to understand too, you may not be the individual like, yeah, I jumped out on my own. I jumped off the pouch, right? You know,
Pouch.
I jumped fresh out
Jump
the
off
pouch.
the
I was
pot.
like, chest in the sky, I'm ready to get it in, right? I'm looking at the world, I'm like, come here. Give me that. Give me that, right? But my thing was, I never had the skills to produce high quality shit. I just always been able to cultivate a bunch of relationships.
Yeah.
But the very moment that I found an individual who had the skills to produce high level shit, I just gave him what I had, and then he gave me what he had, and now you sitting here watching a podcast in high quality. Not only are you watching this, but you might be clicking the link in my bio and checking out all of these different websites that we created.
You might have the 10 mandatory
Business
building blocks in your possession right
you
now.
might be one of our many ad agency clients who pay us
Yeah.
a lot of money on a monthly basis. But my thing is, it's no secret. It's no secret. It's no fucking secret. All it was in entrepreneurship, as you jump off your porch, as you get into this field, is just handle the shit accordingly. Yeah, it's gonna get hard. Yeah, it's gonna punch you in the mouth. Yeah, your parachute not gonna open, but that shouldn't be the reason why you don't get out there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm talking to I can't remember his Instagram name. It was her Instagram
Protect
name.
the Hood.
I'm talking to Protect the Hood right now because at this point, it's about to happen. She wouldn't ask if it wasn't happening.
You contemplating, like we talked about in that episode, The Call to Adventure.
Yeah.
You just
She about to jump.
Just need that last.
She about to jump, but
And
I think it's fair enough.
Yeah.
I think it's fair. I feel her on it. It's
Yeah.
like, at this point, I'm finna jump. I'm just trying to see what y'all talking about because I'm jumping.
Yeah.
Fam. So I respect her on the jump. I just want, like you said, her to understand that these things are coming. But I just feel like the universe protects people who
It gives you. I heard that
who
before.
have
though.
iron will. Yeah,
It said basically, as long as you're chasing your heart's desire, you won't have everything you want, but you have everything you need. And I think that's what the thing is. Like I said,
Think about that.
Even in my life, I think until you master your field, you won't have like the nice shit that you want, right? Like it's no, like in the beginning, there's no penthouse, there's none of that shit, right? But you'll always have a place. Like I've always had at least some way to access internet.
Exactly.
And a place to find some books or something, because I'm pursuing that, right?
Yeah.
And I believe if somebody says, I don't have a place to access books, I've already given the resource to get free audio books.
Yeah.
Given that, right?
Yeah.
There's free books. A lot of these old books, you can go get them for free. From
Where can
places
they
like-
find that, where you gave that
what episode was that?
at? Give it again.
Hoopla Digital. Another one is Libby. It's
Yeah.
actually a good one, where you get a free library card from your city, and you can go get free audio books. That's where I get some of mine.
Yeah.
Of course, I do have an Audible subscription too, though. But I just know the potency of knowledge, though, right?
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, or what I'm getting at is, I'm telling you that if you have an idea, I don't want you to think you're ready because you have an idea, right? There's people who don't have ideas. Did you have an idea when you started? No. But you landed here. What I'm saying is the temperament of not giving a fuck. Me, of course, it bothered me.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I said, this is the vision I see for my life. I don't see myself doing the things that everybody around me is doing. So if 99.9% of my people are doing this and they're getting these type of lives, right? I think I need to do something different to get the type of life that I want.
Yeah.
So I started reading these books, and these books became my mentors. The trial and error of me going out failing became my mentors. And if you're willing to do that, then you're ready, because what happens with most people is this, right? They don't make a true decision. You know what I mean when I say decision? Decision means, the true root of decision means to cut off other options, right? So when you decide means this is happening. This is happening. So when I was an entrepreneur, when I say I'm gonna be an entrepreneur, right? There was no plan B I know people say like, it's not, and I'll explain that in a second. There was no plan B. I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I wasn't rigid like, I have to be this type of entrepreneur, right?
Come on. It's good? Everything good?
Yeah. I wasn't rigid like, I have to be this type of entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
Like, I have to do it this way. I'm saying, but I'm an entrepreneur. It's happening.
Yeah,
I'm not backing off
It's
that.
happening.
So
It's already happening.
when I was broke, I had a bank account overdrawn by $107.35 when I was sleeping on the floor of my mama's house, when I couldn't afford a haircut, and I had to cut my own shit, when I didn't have new clothes, I didn't have new shoes, when I didn't have none of that shit, right? I understood that I don't care what happens. When I lost my phone, when I lost all kind of like luxuries, when I didn't have money to go on dates and shit like that or whatever, right? It was fucked up. And at that point, you didn't think I was like, man, I should just go get a job so it could just stop. So it could just stop, right? No. I said, I'm doing this. I always tell people they make what I call conditional decisions, right? I'm going to do this shit if nothing else happens, right? I don't make decisions like that.
Yeah.
If I say I'm going to do this shit, I'm
You're
going
not
to do
an if
it.
man?
So, exactly. I'm not an if man. Like, well, shit, I'm going to be an entrepreneur if I can make sure I have money or I'm comfortable the entire time. I'm just telling you, entrepreneurship is a different game. The reason at the beginning of this, I talked about, like, you're going outside of society, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to explain to you, you say, what do I think, right? I think if you understand clearly what you're getting yourself into, that it's going to be shitty. It's going to be shitty a lot of times.
Oh, yeah.
Like, really bad.
Yeah.
But the reason I was able to go through it because I had a clear direction of what my life is going to be.
Yeah.
The control I have in my life, right? And I'm not, full disclaimer, we're not super millionaires or anything yet, right? Like, I know we're on the way there, right? With the stuff we're doing to ad and stuff like that. But one day I told my partner, I said this. I said, you realize I wake up and do what the fuck I want every day?
Yeah.
Like, think about that. I wake up and work on the shit I want to work on. I work around the people I want to work around.
Right.
I go talk to millionaire clients and shit like that. I do that shit.
Yeah.
I do that shit right now.
Yeah.
But years ago, it wasn't that long ago, I was sleeping on the floor and people were saying, nah, don't do that. But the middle part, you're going to see, what people are going to see, and this is why I try to leave everything up on my YouTube and all my shit, right? I know people like, you should, no, fuck that, right? I want you to see, bro, that it wasn't sweet.
It wasn't how
It wasn't sweet. I don't want you to see the part that you're seeing now, which is like, oh, they're starting to get bigger. There's more people starting to get recognized. I'm starting to get recognized. I've got recognized like 4 times from this podcast.
Yeah.
So I don't want you to see us get big and think, oh, yeah, it was always nice. It was always sweet. I want you to understand, if you're going to jump out like you're talking about,
You're going to get dirty.
come on. Let's get in the mud. What we said the last week, you remember what we was talking about last week?
What?
You was like, you killed it. You was like, don't play beach volleyball. You're going to complain about sand in your toes. And then the other one was like, don't complain about the pool. Don't complain about getting in the pool. You're going to be mad about getting wet, right?
Getting wet,
I'm saying,
man. Don't come to the pool party.
entrepreneurship, you about to be in
Yeah,
the
bro.
mud. Like, you about to be in the mud. And the silver lining, though, is at the other end of it is a better life. That's the only thing that's going to keep you motivated. I know that a lot of times we have petty motivations, right?
Yeah.
I tell people the reason I'm not motivated by stunting on the haters or the doubters or whatever, right? Some people that does motivate them. They need that, right?
Yeah,
I feel like it's too small.
Yeah, that's
It's too small for me.
Yeah.
It's like to be like, I'm gonna prove the 16 people from high school that I can do this shit, or I'm gonna prove all the friends who was talking shit about me. Oh,
that's just one of the things when you looked up at everything that you accomplished, they was mad. You're like, that's cool.
yeah.
Hey, I got that.
Yeah, it's like, of course, I mean, to be fair, I mean, you still gonna feel some satisfaction from it. But I'm saying it's not, what I'm saying is, let's just say that occupies a percentage of my motivation, but the large percentage is the vision I saw for my life, right? The vision I saw for my life is the only thing. That's the only thing that's going. You think if the shit I just explained, how bad it got for me, like being poor.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about, I'm talking about poor.
Rock bottom.
Like poor. I used to go to my brother's house. He didn't even know this, right? I used to just go over there because sometimes he's like, you want to go get something to eat? I'd be like, yeah, I guess. Because I was fucking hungry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I want you to really get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So when I talk about being poor and thankful, I even had that, right?
Yeah.
We talked about being on like one meal a day or some days not even having a meal, right? So what I'm getting at is, you think that me wanting to prove the doubters wrong would have pushed me through that?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have kept doing it if I was just trying to prove the doubters wrong.
Yeah.
Shit like oh, I'm doing it for, say, the women, right? That's not going to push me through shit like that, right?
Yeah,
like stunting, that's not going to
why.
push me through. I'm saying the bigger vision that I see to accomplish in the world is what pushes me. That's what drives me.
Yeah,
when you say, man, like when you say, how can you stay up like this? Is because my why is so huge. I'm like, it's bigger than me. Yeah. It's bigger than this podcast. It's bigger than this, right? This podcast has affected people's lives. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to inspire people, it has to be something bigger. So if you're leaving just because you want to prove somebody wrong, and I'm not saying you are. I'm not even saying you are.
Of course not.
I'm just making the point that
talking to a person.
Yeah, I'm just making the point that you have to expect this shit to happen. Like we're hammering this point home because the real key to this is that you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to step outside of society. If the thing that's going to determine if you're ready is you're willing to deal with all the shit. But while you're going to have more responsibility and you're going to deal with more shit, it's also going to result in you having the life that you want, the freedom that you want, and you being able to set your paycheck and do whatever the fuck you want in life. And I believe that is worth all the hardships you go through.
And that's really, and as we wrap this up too.
Yeah.
But that's like that's my why. My why is my why is a little bit different too. My why is a little bit different. Most people laugh at my why, but shit, my why is what my why is, and that's why it's just, you know, you one of them classic situations. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I want to play around for the rest of my life. Most people laugh at that shit, right? Most people say, "What kind of fucking shit is that?" Right? But it means so much to me. Because I value recreational
You know what
activities.
I would break that down to?
What?
You want to enjoy life.
Of course, bro. But I like to say this. I like to say it exactly how I say it.
No, how you feel. Yeah, I get you there.
Because I want people to feel the exact way they feel when I say it. I want you to play. Somebody talked to my roommate the other day. He just walked out in there and went to the bar where I told him, I said, I want to play.
Wait. That means you don't want to work?
I said, I do not want to work hard, bro.
Yeah.
I do. Now, don't get me wrong.
The reason I'm going to tell you why I said that, right?
Yeah, now.
Because
come on, bro.
what I'm saying is, to me, there's a difference in doing shit that you don't like to do. We
on,
talked
bro.
about that. If you go speak or you do something like this is, come on.
But I'm gonna balls out. I'm gonna balls to the wall until I don't have to.
What I'm saying is this type shit.
Yeah, come on, man.
Yes,
Come on,
it's like, oh my God, we gotta shoot the. No, it's not like that.
No,
That's not how we feel
like
about
that.
this.
They're not.
You know what I'm saying? This is the shit we like. Yeah,
this is what we look
and if you
forward
coming
to all the time.
you coming to shit like this all the time.
Yeah.
Technically, you're working.
Yeah, you working.
But I'm saying this is us getting to just do what the fuck we do, and that's why I say. My thing is enjoyment, like I said. Like I don't want to just set up a thing where I'm making money. I want to set up a good life, right?
Yeah.
I want to enjoy what I'm doing. I don't get how a motherfucker can be 20-something years old, right? Or 22, 23, 24, 25. Enter a job and be cool with hating it for 50 to 60 years.
Yeah, right.
How? I have friends 30, 40 years old right now talking about, man, I hate my job. I say, how the fuck are you doing this?
Yeah, how do you?
I would have killed myself. Right. I may sound extreme, but I always tell people I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't sit there day after day and complain about shit without doing something about it.
Yeah.
That's why I said, like, I've heard this before. If you are not complaining about your life, good. You're living how you're supposed to be living. Yeah. If you have a job and you enjoy your job every day and you have no sense of frustration about it, right? I believe you're a success. I just said it, right? I believe if you have no sense of frustration about your job, you're not complaining, you love exactly where you're at, you're a success because you are where you want to be.
Exactly.
But for most people, that's not what they're doing. They're coming up to me talking about, bro, I fucking see my boss and, man, they doing this and they got this shit. It's like, bro, why are you there?
Why you there? Leave then.
Leave.
You don't like it? Leave. Leave.
That's what I'm saying.
Leave.
And so,
all right then, shut up.
So I think that's what if I'm talking to protect the hood, what I'm saying is, what I'm telling them is basically, you have the opportunity to live a life that you want. What will stop you from living that life is expecting it to somehow be easy. Watching us and thinking that you see the lights, you see the cameras, you see all the nice stuff we're doing, you see us putting out stuff, and not understanding the journey that we were willing to go through. That's the key word, willing to go through in order to get there. I was willing to put up with criticism. I was willing to put up with failures. I was willing to look stupid, be humiliated. I was willing to be talked about behind my back. I was willing to suffer long nights of boredom. I was willing to do it. Not because, like it may sound bad, because I understood that now I get to what you talking about, right? I get to do a lot of shit that I just like to do. And every day I build more and more freedom into my life where it's like, well, shit, I'm just enjoying it more and more every day. I was willing to do that because I understood that's the life I would be able to create for myself.
Yeah. And I guess I'm going to go ahead and go into my final thoughts from the Penthouse. And I don't know if you want to use that for you. That was an excellent. I was thinking while you was talking about that.
That was it.
Final thought from the Penthouse. But I'm going to let you double back and kind of touch on those points. But my final thoughts from the Penthouse on my end, really, is really jump out there, bro. And I'm not talking to her. I'm really talking to everybody. If you want to move back to your mom's house and pursue your dreams, just know that people gonna Yeah, people gonna talk about it. Just know that people
do it.
You like me, right? Imagine me moving out here and going to my mom's house right now. Like, we do kickbacks here, we have fun here. This is the house we come to. Like, I mean, criticism will be there, right?
Yeah.
My thing with all of that is, if it needs to be done, I'm just going to go do it.
Yeah.
It's not even about the feeling of others or
Just do it!
If you know, like my why, right? A part of my why is I want to be able to act an ass for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I want to be able to have fun and play because I understand the importance of recreational activity. That may not be a strong enough why for most people. That's my why, and it's very important to me, especially after hanging around with people like you and understanding what you went through to get to where you are. I understand the value of recreational activity, and even after us putting together our time management, now we are able to go act an ass.
I think it's layered, and just to say this, I don't want to cut you. I just want you to keep going. I just say this: I believe it's a lot more complex than you give it credit for.
Yeah.
Like the way you're saying it, but just knowing you, I know it's a lot more complex than most people how the statement would come off.
Yeah, come on, man. But also knowing me, you should understand that I can't give a damn about none of that as far as how people.
Oh no, I'm not talking about perception.
Nah, I know you clearing it up for a person that's like he just wants to play. Of course, guys, it's deeper.
Well, I think the why to you, what resonates to you, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I think when people hear certain words, I just know.
Really what it is, bro, is really complete self-reliance. But I like to play around and say, like, I want to play. I want to be a dumbass.
Yeah.
So I want to say I want to play around. Like, it's really complete self-reliance, and I want to do whatever the fuck I want to do. I want to talk to. I don't want to create a future where you're in control. I want to create the future where I'm in control. But my dumbass, my play for last. I want to play all fucking day. So that's what the fuck I want.
You want to be able to come to some shit like this and do exactly what you do.
This, right? My thing is with that though. It took a lot to get to this point, of course, but you just can't be scared to get your elbows in that fucking mud. So those are my final thoughts from the Penthouse. P, what are yours?
Yeah, I echo a lot of that sentiment, and I just say this, right? The reason I took this, and I told them that I was going to use this on the podcast. The reason I took this is because I guess this is the conversation I wish somebody could have had with me when I first started. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wish somebody would have told me like what to expect. And the reason I say that is because I think if you're ready to deal with it, you can get through it a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody's guiding you through, it's like having a guide through something, right? If somebody's guiding you through it, it's a lot quicker because when it comes, you're like, oh yeah. Oh, okay, I see that, right? So you don't feel as bad about it, right? Nobody told me that some of the people that I love the most weren't gonna believe in me. Nobody told me that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody told me that you're basically gonna be completely alienated from everybody that you care about and love because they're gonna think something's wrong with you, right? Nobody told me that shit, right?
Yeah.
But if I'd have been expecting it, I wouldn't have been mad at them. I wouldn't have been mad at anybody because I'd have been like, I get it, because this is just because I'm doing shit different. I have to go through this. This is part of it because I want this life.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. And like, to your sentiment about the why, whatever, right? I know how I want to affect the world.
Yeah.
And because I'm chasing something bigger than what a lot of people are chasing, how I want to affect the world, it's easy for me.
Yeah.
It's easy for me to work. It's easy for me to outwork people. It's easy. I love it, right?
Yeah.
I love creating the structures and the empires and the systems. I love it, right? Because for me, my why is big, right?
Yeah.
And like you said, what you really broke it down to is complete self-reliance.
That's what I mean.
Being able to do what you want, create a future where you're in control. So if you're watching this, the reason I tell you to do it because I understand what it is to have complete self-reliance. You don't have to wake up and do shit you do not want to do. I want you to have that. And that's why I answered the question. And anybody in a similar situation, I want them to also have that. So I say, as my final thought, it's just anything that you're thinking about doing in life, it's worth doing it. just realize just because shit gets bad when you do it doesn't mean you're not gonna succeed. It just means that you have to go through that in order to become the person you want to be. And if you're willing to go through that, I promise you, there's a better life on the opposite end of it where you can have the things you want and you can be like DJ. Play all day because you'll be loving what you do. With that being said, I guess social media and then we out.
Yes, sir. Follow me on all social media platforms. I think my Twitter popping at this point. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Country Cowboy with 2 Y's. So you can go ahead and get me on those platforms. Hit me up in my DMs. Instagram is the worst place to hit me up in my DMs.
Yeah, it's just overflow, no?
That shit just doesn't work at this point. I'm getting too many DMs. I do a lot of giveaways, so I'm an excellent person to follow on IG right now. I just gave away $25 last night, and before that, $200, and they'll fluctuate all the time.
We about to get heavy into that.
Yeah, heavy in the giveaway. So if you're watching this, at the beginning of this, we was giving away free haircuts. You can go to Princeton's bio and my bio and get some free haircuts.
For a year.
For a year. Just get a chance to win that. And if you are watching this later on in life and it's gone, don't panic. It just already happened. Yeah. But P, anything on your social media?
Princeton Hicks on everything. PRINSTONHICKS. But always go to takingmassiveaction.com. Get the 10 mandatory building blocks to build a successful business now.
For free.
These 10 things, for free. These 10 things are helping so many people just get out there, right? So if you're watching this, you're like, man, I don't know what to start. It'll at least give you a basis of putting you in the right direction. Of course, we got so much more stuff. You're gonna wanna watch takingmassiveaction.com, go to the website, and stuff like that, because we release articles, we release blogs and stuff that just tell you how to navigate this world of entrepreneurship. Besides that, like you said, DM us. Well, don't DM you because it's hard. Like my shit's pretty bad now too. My shit's pretty bad now too.
Oh yeah.
I can't answer that shit no more either.
Yeah,
because people just be like, yeah, what do you think? I just can't.
Yeah, I try to do that question shit.
Every once in a while, I'll find one like this one. But you can even tweet at us, right? Just tweet at us, or go to mamashousepenhouse.com/questions, and that's the easiest way to get a question answered. But besides that, just remember, if you're gonna do this shit, don't complain about scraping your knee a little bit.
Just do this shit. And also just go to
Bodega Bomb. Look, that was there,
Right? Also just go to Bodega Bomb.
You got to take a massive action movement shirts on there.
We got Mama's House and Penthouse shirts, everything on Hey Bodega Bomb. We'll be giving away free shirts on there too. So if you're watching this, man, we just get in the giving away free
I just I'm feeling generous, right?
Man, I love giving away stuff, man. As we close out with this too, I do want to talk about this because I know Quan hungry and my boy Quincy over there hungry too.
Yeah, so, I can tell Quincy, you know how Quincy is.
Look, Quincy hungry. Boy's hungry. They got some pizza right there.
Quincy probably.
Got him. Boy, hit that boat there. Got him. But yeah, man, I appreciate everybody for listening, man. Keep downloading these podcasts. Subscribe. My favorite YouTube channel at the moment is Princeton Hicks channel. If you have not checked, I'm not, bro. I think. No. I don't even want you to laugh.
I saw it offend you, bro. I'm sorry to offend you, bro.
You almost pissed me off, bro. Because I be telling him, bro, I'm a big P. Hicks fan. He just be like, bro, you see me every day. I think that's what you be trying to say.
He don't fuck with me.
I be at home, it be girls, I be chilling, we be like, they be wanting to listen. I be like, man, nah, man, we P. Hicks right now, man. Shut up. But that's what it is, man. Get this knowledge, utilize it. Don't worry about my goof ass. I'm always gonna be goofy. I say what the fuck I want to say. I do what the fuck I want to do. Because you built your life up. I built my life up. And you know, we got 2 questions. I'm gonna do this right now, people. We got 2 questions in one time frame. Next week's episode is gonna be a fucking banger.
Oh,
I'm gone.
Monster. I'm gone.
Yeah. I open my eyes, I see them snakes in the sky, saying that they down the ride. Really, they down for the ride. Really, they down for a piece piece of my pie. Look in my eyes, you can see that I'm tired. Look at my ties, you can see I got drive. All these emotions, I put them aside. All this potential, I bring it to life. I look them dead in the eyes. Cause I really want it, and I'm really working, and I'm really stressing out because I'm nervous. Cause everybody wanna be on the surface. I think I earned it. Cause I've been spitting ever since you were jerking. I'm talking way before recording with Irvin. I was working, so I think I deserve it. Ain't nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. All the sweat that I was sweating, all them tears that I've been shedding. Ain't nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. All the work that I was putting when they tell me that I shouldn't. Ain't nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. All the sweat that I was sweating, all them tears that I was shedding. Ain't nobody knows. Nobody knows, nobody knows, nobody knows. All the work that I was putting when they tell me that I shouldn't. Ain't nobody knows.
That's the Bruce. Nigga, we made it. Nah, man, bro, I remember locking in all hours of the night with you back in San Houston, man. The grind was real. And even back then, man, in your Curious Keys days, I always knew you had that gift. Something special about you. Man, continue to be great and inspired. Dreams really do come true, and only Wayne can make it happen. One love, your boy Easy.